lesson is all about how to stay motivated at the piano. So tell me if it sounds familiar. You decide you're gonna learn, you're so excited, you're so motivated, you wanna practice every day, and then a couple weeks passes and you sort of practice less and less until the piano's like a long lost friend and you haven't touched it in weeks, and you think to yourself, what has happened here? So I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to play the piano forever and ever and ever. So in this lesson, I'm going to be giving you my very best tips for how to stay motivated at the piano. Number 1, expect to not want to practice. I think that when we look at the piano and we feel so excited and passionate at the beginning, we have this expectation that we're going to want to be at the piano practicing. But newsflash, practice is hard and life is busy and things happen, and at some point you're going to not want to practice. And I can tell you from personal experience that that feeling of not wanting to practice has stayed with me from, I don't know, probably the second month of piano lessons. My entire life, I very rarely actually want to practice. So set your mind up for success by having reasonable expectations about your desire to practice. It's gonna be hard work at times. Yes, it can be fun, but it's gonna be hard work. And you're gonna have to make sacrifices in order to be able to get to the piano. So when you get that feeling of, I don't feel like practicing, it does not translate into, you should stop learning the piano. It simply means, you gotta focus on some of the other motivating factors. Which brings me to my second point, and that is, in order to stay motivated, you have to know your why. Because why you choose to play in the beginning, in the first place, is connected to your passion. So you might have seen somebody performing at a subway on a public piano and thought, oh my goodness, I want that to be me. Or maybe you just want to keep your brain sharp and you know all the health benefits of playing the piano and you play for that reason. Or maybe you just want to play for your friends a sentimental song. Whatever your reasons are, that's your motivator, and that's what made you passionate. And when we have passion, we can convert that into energy, and energy is what will motivate you to get back to the piano when you're feeling like, oh, I don't want to practice. So my third point is check in with yourself after you practice. So this sounds a little bit crazy, but trust me, wonderful things happen to your brain when you're playing the piano. All kinds of stress-reducing things and new pathways. It's pure magic, actually. And so even though you might not have wanted to go to the piano and practice, how does your body feel? How does your mind feel after you've played for 10 or 15 minutes? So if you end your practices with this moment of sort of reflection, like, how do I feel after this practice? It'll help to train your brain to connect a positive with the experience of practicing. So our brains and our bodies are very smart. If something is helping us to have a better life and feel better, we're gonna be drawn to that. So just reflect after your practices. It can really help. And I always say, like, nobody ever practices the piano and then walks away and thinks, oh, I wish I hadn't practiced the piano today. That's not a thing. I feel like you practice the piano, you're gonna feel good about yourself, you're gonna feel accomplished. So when you feel that feeling, make sure you reflect on it and just take a moment to be like, yes, I did it. So my last couple of points are a little bit more technical, which brings me to my point about technique. So technique is the area that kind of gets frowned upon. People, you know, they don't like to practice their scales, they wanna play songs. But I promise you that the better you are with your scales and your triads and all of that, the better you're gonna be at playing your songs and the music you love. So even if you don't feel like it, just spend a little bit of time each practice on your technique, because when you go to play the songs, you'll have way fewer frustrations. Your hands will cooperate better. You'll be able to play more challenging pieces. So just trust me on this. Incorporate a little bit of technique into your daily routine. And then your goals. So people usually learn to play the piano because they want to play songs. But get a little bit more specific. Are you wanting to improve your sight reading? Are you wanting to improve your ear? What is the kind of goal center of your learning? Once you figure that out, you can pick songs that support your goal. And then that's all connected. So I always have a wish list of songs that keep me really inspired, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to learn that song. And when I want to work on developing my sight reading, I will pick up maybe a classical piece. And when I want to work on training my ear, I might pick a piece that I really connect with and that resonates with me in a more challenging key. So the songs I pick help to connect me with my goals, and then they help me to know what to practice. And so then I have a plan. I've got this plan created, and I don't have to sit down here and go like, oh, what am I supposed to do? If you know what you're doing when you sit down at the piano, it makes it so much easier to sit down at the piano. So define these goals ahead of time. Now, we've created a very sweet little journal, piano motivation journal page for you to download. It's free, and it's got all kinds of prompts on it for you to help you identify, your technique, your goals, how to reflect on how you feel after your practices. You can print off a bunch of copies and fill out a new one each week, just to kind of help you stay on track and stay, passionate and motivated to play. And so the final thing I wanted to leave you with was everybody has 5 minutes. So if you lost your motivation, you're feeling like I don't have the time, which is probably the most common reason people sort of move away from the piano, everybody's got 5 minutes. So if you can, instead of scrolling through your phone or, staring into space with exhaustion at the end of the day, just find 5 minutes, just 5, to sit down and play anything. Have a plan in place for what you want to play if you only have 5 minutes. I've got a little spot for that on the little journal page that you can fill in so you have a plan. And then that just helps to connect you with all the other areas of motivation. You're going to feel good because you've sat down. Chances are you'll feel like, 5 minutes is nothing. I want to play a little longer. And you're going to feel good. You're going to be moving towards your goals, and then you can stay playing the piano forever, stay motivated. You've got this. Comment below. I would love to hear about what your best motivational advice is for the piano. How have you kept yourself engaged and motivated? Or on the opposite side of that, tell me about your struggles. What do you struggle with most when it comes to getting to the piano and staying motivated? I'm here to help. I love reading your comments. Happy practicing, and we'll see you around.